Hi everybody, welcome back. Talking about fractions on a line today like we did yesterday, and I wanted to talk to you about a couple things about that. So let's say that I folded the paper and I got perfectly the line in half, and that's awesome. But sometimes we're just drawing a diagram, so we wouldn't be exactly perfect, but we do it the best that we could. So let me show you what I'm talking about. Here's a line I draw on this paper. The line goes forever in both directions. And I'm going to put a dot here and a dot here. And I'm going to call this dot 0. I'm going to call this dot 1. So in between here is one hole, one spot on the line from 0 to 1. So now if I wanted to show 1/2, I could fold the paper and find it exactly perfectly, or I could look at the line and I could eyeball it and say that's halfway across the line. This is a diagram, so it's showing a picture of an idea of a fraction, not the exact fraction like when we folded and colored them before. So that's one thing that I wanted to show you. So if I had this mark on here and someone said, graph 1/2 on this line, what they mean is to make a dot at this spot. Like there's a dot at 0 and a dot at 1, make a dot at the spot that is 1/2. I have another line started here, and it's a diagram, so I'm not going to fold it, but I'm going to divide it into 4 equal parts as best I can by looking. So you might be able to see I have 1, 2, 3, 4. They are not perfect. I can tell that this one's a little bit bigger, but it's a diagram of an idea of a line divided into 4 equal parts. This is 0 and this is 1. So what would these parts be called? This would be 1/4, 2/4, 3/4, and 4/4. So let me mark those now. 1/4, 2/4, 3/4, and 4/4. There is a fraction name for this, 0/4. There are no fourths at that spot. And so now you can see that I have labeled each of these spots on the line. Do you know another number name for 2/4? This part right in the middle here that splits the line evenly? It's also known as 1/2. So 1/2 and 2/4 come on the same place on the line. So if somebody said to you, graph 3/4 on the line, what they mean is put a dot at the place where 3/4 is. Graph 3/4 on the line means put a dot where you see 3/4. So I hope that that makes sense to you. So if we had another line and we graphed 0 and we graphed 1 whole, then we could graph 1/2. But this time I'd like to think about it in terms of sixths. 1/6, 2/6, 3/6, 4/6. We're counting by 1/6, 5/6, 6/6. There's something called 7/6, which is over here. It's bigger than 1 whole, and they go on. Actually, they continue forever. So if I wanted to put one of these fractions on here, for this spot right here, this spot's right in the middle. It's called 1/2. But which of these fractions would go there? Which of these fractions is the same as or equal to 1/2? Which of these fractions shows 1/2 of 6? And I think you probably picked this one because 3 is 1/2 of 6. So I could write 3/6 here. So now we can do some really interesting things with this line. We could compare fractions. So I don't have to put all of the sixths on here very neatly and carefully, which would be really hard to do to have them come out even. But I could think about where would 1/6 be near on this line? Would it be near 0? Would it be near 1/2? Or would it be near 1 whole? 1/6. You're probably thinking it's right here. It's kind of near to 0. It's only 1/6 more. So we could put 1/6 here. And let's take a look at 6/6. Where would that go on the number line? 6 out of 6. That's the whole thing. That's all of it. Right. So we would put 6, 6 here with the 1 whole. So what one should we do next? Why don't we do 5/6 right here? Let's do that one. Where do you think that would go? Is it near to 0? Is it just about a half? Or is it nearer to 1 whole, 6, 6? I think you would agree 5/6 is really close to 6, 6. So we could put it right here. And if somebody said graph 1/6 on this line, they would want us to put the dot here. So I hope that that helped you to learn some more about finding fractions on a line. It's a really very powerful thing to understand about. You're doing a great job. I left you some IXL to practice, and I hope that you do well. Remember that you can click on getting help, and they'll teach you a little lesson there if you need more help, or you can watch this again, or you can write to me. Okay, take care. Bye-bye. I'm going to turn you off this way today.